Hello, I am Lunge the Dinosaur. Let us not go extinct. The U.S. Empire's perpetual oil war machine, a psychotic industrial death wish of planetary suicide. I only wish all the political junkies in the establishment could see the urgent and dire necessity of saving the planet's life and the people's soul. I wish the pushers and dealers in the media would not be slaves to celebrity, money, accessibility, and power. If our nation was still a true republic, we could enact and enforce laws that could force the real financial power brokers to kick their corporate party oil addiction and finally stop this juggernaut of bloodlust, a perpetually killing war machine based only on fear-mongering propaganda, but pouring out oceans of gold only for the few, while oppressing and manipulating the ever-increasingly aware masses of good people all over the world that have seen through their petty motivations and want to be free of this elite class so psychotically bent on world domination that they do not see that they will have only left us with a dead and poisoned world for them to rule over in the end. From these oppressed masses will spring the sweet distilled juice of sore and inhumane injustice, and that sweet intoxicating liquor of restored innocence and empathy for all life will bring on the age of peace and love at long last. With the wisdom, compassion, dignity, and integrity of men like Mr. Ajamu Baraka, and the fire and vision and genius of women like Dr. Jill Stein, and millions of others that awoke to that one honest man, old Bernie Sanders. He was the great prophet who, like Moses, could lead us out of the wilderness, but could not cross over to the promised land. No, I do not weep for his lost and feeble revolution. It was a greater success of awakening the true latent power lying dormant so long in the masses. But he will not stand against the power he has invested in for so long, bravely working within a horribly corrupt system to fight the forces that threaten extinction to all life on the planet. We must honor him for what he has accomplished and see that his refusal to join the third party is not a betrayal at all. It is the stratagem of a man who still believes in the Republic, in compromise and grace, dignified losers and humble winners, to gradually move the progressive ideals of democratic socialism the wind to wear the corporate mountain down. Unfortunately, we do not have enough time to let this oligarchy crumble on its own and rebuild upon the rubble. We must act now to save the future. And so, we must carry on, forcing more and more radical changes. We must break this psychological lock of the lesser of two weasels and open our mind and hearts to each other again. Are we really so certain of our entrenched positions? Are we always so willing to conform to the overwhelming illusion of the establishment's militant, oil addicted, and corporate constructed national consensus of perpetual war for profit? Yes, we have the power to destroy the world, but do we really have to use it? We all know we could end fossil fuels tomorrow if we ended the oil wars right now. If we ended the use of fossil fuels, our health would improve and we could change to a single-payer healthcare system like the rest of the world. We could have tuition-free colleges and have a bright and enlightened culture. We could have the 20-hour work week and full employment. We could have a $1 billion cap on capitalism and end wage slavery. We could pay every citizen a 13th month vacation and have a much better life, not based on the accumulation of money and status, but a rich and wholesome life of family and community service and leisure time with our friends and time spent in nature to reconnect to our souls and restore our greater humanity. We could end the consumerism of plastic lives and become more than bloated, selfish, and perverse tyrants. We could have reformed elections, term limits, lower taxes, and empty jails, and a revitalized economy overnight with the courage and the will to change and to end the crime of herbal prohibition, to revitalize the arts and nightlife, to reflect a wiser and more poetic and joyful higher social consciousness than brutal alcohol can provide. We could change instantly to a world that manages all our human processes to foster life instead of destroy it. We could make our world full of great opportunities to love life and find peace of mind, and the grace and humility to appreciate all life and all people's cultures and religions. We invented the Industrial Revolution upon the backs of colonialism's militant bigotry, and we could end it too. We could revolutionize our whole global world as an age of peace and love just as easily. Our present state of horror on the brink of World War III is all because our true humanity has been usurped by fascists who wish only for militant world domination by this tyrannical American corporate empire. These are the sole corruptions of brutal and conceited men, an obscenely selfish, eager brood of the worst of us who still hold to the greatest mistake of history. Might makes right. The resulting wars on other nations, the war on drugs, the war on women, war on progressive advances, and the war on the poor have created this unending, uncivil class war since the assassination of John F. Kennedy when the gloves came off. These conceited sociopaths believe that the wealthy are the true rulers of the ignorant masses. Our 150 years of ever-advancing technological knowledge and medical advances have been repressed and withheld from us in favor of the spoils of constant international war, fossil fuel, and opiate addiction. The masses are becoming more and more literate and spiritual, but too many have been drugged and dumbed down to worship wealth, and they are stuck in an abusive relationship with the wealthy, selfish interests that have used the greedy administrators in hospitals and schools, and the cowardly, pandering media's mind control programming to make us codependent on a psychotic, industrial death wish of planetary suicide. Will we carry on to make it to the land of peace and love that we know we can create if only these rotting corpses of colonialism and the rule of the elites would not cause this modern world to crumble and fall in on itself like all militant empires have done in the past. A civilization based on peace and love for all life and all cultures and all peoples on this planet of generous life could endure millenniums if only we could finally end the crime of 10,000 years of the elitism of this tyrannical warrior cult, using superior might to oppress those less powerful and rob them of their life, their liberty, and their treasure. Thank you. This is Lunge the Dinosaur. Let us not go extinct.